TNA Wrestling recently crossed that line and took us under siege. And as we move on to Against All Odds on our special milestone here on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast, our 1000th piece of content that's going out on YouTube and our 200th special guest interviews, we are joined by two of the biggest names in TNA and the brothers, not the Hardys, who recently retained the gold at Under Siege. None other than Ryan and his brother Nick Nemeth. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank
We're
you
so
for
happy
having us on.
we're psyched to be here as the champions who defeated several combinations of the Hardys to win and win, including going into Magic Wonderland, hallucinating and stealing the titles from them. I think we've come up enough versions of that to proudly say accurately we are the world's best brothers tag team of all time. That's
Of
it.
all time.
Well, I think there's an argument for and against that, but no doubt about it, you guys are
Against the first time hearing of it.
against all odds, Nick. That's where we're going with that. But first off, look, I mean, obviously, and I'm sure you've been asked this question a lot this evening. The news other than that at the weekend was, of course, Joe Hendry losing the TNA World Heavyweight Championship at NXT Battleground to Trick Williams. Nick, come to you first. What quote unquote impact does that have on the TNA locker room, knowing that technically an outsider is the champion?
I don't see how it's technically an outsider. It's someone who doesn't work here. Like, we have a working relationship with NXT and WWE, of course, and it's been very fruitful for both sides. I've been very happy to watch the relationship grow and watch our audience grow and watch their audience grow when we're there. It's a huge win for both companies, for everybody involved. But in all seriousness, like let's break everything down here. Joe Hendry, insane meteoric rise, absolutely kicking ass. It's selling T-shirts, got everyone singing his song. They blew the roof off at WrestleMania, and so like those are all positives. Like let's be realistic here. He lost the TNA World Title to someone who doesn't work here. And so I don't know what we have to do as a locker room. But it's like, we can't just say, hey, good job, buddy. You almost retained that title for us, because this isn't passing out participation awards. This is when he did great and brought people in and won matches, including beating me, got one over on me. I said, you know what? You were the better man that night. Congratulations. So now I'm going to say you're not the better man at the moment. It's cool that people are singing your song. It's cool that people are happy to see you, but this business is about also you have to win matches. And if you're going to represent TNA, you better be able to back it up. Everybody loses sometimes. Trust me, for 19 years, I lost 8,000 times. I totally understand that. And I'm way better than that record shows. So I totally get that. But when it comes down to it right now, I'm pissed off. I think we should have a locker room meeting when we get back to work and say, what are we going to do about this? Because it's not just, oops, congrats, guy who doesn't work for our company. You're our world champion now. I get that there's a crossover and working relationship, but something has to be done. And it can't just be like, is Joe, he hasn't called me or texted me to say, sorry, we're going to have to like arrange something at work for a meeting. And I need him to explain himself and say how he's going to get it back or what he's going to do next, because the company is absolutely kicking ass and rocking on all cylinders. Yes, sometimes people lose. That totally happens. I get it. And I've been there, but he has to get that title back. And if he doesn't, there is going to be hell to pay, and not on television, behind the scenes in the locker room. I want to kick his ass right now. I'm pissed off that a non-TNA wrestler is the world champion, the title that I fought my ass off for and defended. And now it's just some other guy. Awesome wrestler, a huge future for Trick Williams. He doesn't work here. Fix it. No, everybody gets a chance to get it back. If he doesn't fix it, I'm going to kick his ass too.
There we go. Right.
As the champions right now, I got to add this. We're the target of who? The Hardys, the Rascals, the Northern Army, Leon Slater and whoever he's with that week, whoever. And now we got to also worry about being challenged from, now we know we have to be on the lookout for, literal people from other companies challenging titles. We know it's possible to win it now. So that's another, we'll be ready for it, but you gotta be alert.
You do have to be alert indeed. You mentioned Leon Slater. I just need to quickly get this in for the fans in the UK and Ireland. If you haven't downloaded the TNA Plus app, and if you haven't, what the hell are you doing? If you haven't downloaded it yet and you want a free month, download it. Put Leon YIC in as the code, and you'll get 1 month free. And you can see these two gentlemen defend their championships on TNA Impact at some point. But if you get the championship package, you'll also be able to get the pay-per-views where you will get to see them every pay-per-view, nearly enough, as we move on to Against All Odds. But Ryan, a question for you now. You know, you're teaming with your brother, legitimate brother, as we say as well. How is that for you when you're wrestling now with your brother and you are tag team champions?
Well, I think it's awesome. We've done so much together in our professional lives that has yet to be in the same wrestling company. So, I felt like it was gonna happen at some point. So, and people are wondering which company? Is it AEW? Is it WWE? Is it NXT? Is it TNA? Well, all right, there it is. That's the Match of TNA. That's the place who thought there's something there that's magical, that's organic, that people will really get into, and they have been. And TNA was the place to do it. So if you're international or UK, get TNA Plus. I have it.
I've got it, if that helps. That's where I watch my TNA.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great every single week. Love watching it. Nick, we've talking about Leon Slater, and you've mentioned him there. And every time I have a TNA, fortunate enough to have a TNA roster member on the show, I always have to talk about him because he is a Brit after all.
Yeah,
But
that's fair.
when you look at him, is there any ceiling that Leon can't really break through if necessary?
No, and I'm someone. Yeah, I hated 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You're like, hey, this is my opponent, so he sucks, and I'm gonna beat him. Like, I have nothing but the utmost positive things to say for him. And I feel publicly, when I first joined TNA, my very first Impact taping, I went there and I went, holy shit, who is this guy? And if he's like 25 or 26, we're gonna have 20 years of him. He was 19 or 20 at the time, and I go, oh my god. This is great. Great for TNA. You said, is there a roof? Yeah, he'll find one and jump off of it and dominates a match. And I hope he has the ability to become X Division champion, and that's not it. And then in a couple of years' time, once he becomes fully operational and checking a 10 out of 10 in every single box, because he's so young now, he's better than he's supposed to be already. So I want to see him become one of the best ever and become TNA world champion at some point. It's got to be. If he does it at 22, I'm going to be pissed off. It'll be like, it won't be good enough. Keep rocking and rolling. The sky is the limit for him. He can do things that I have to watch in slow motion and not understand what they are. But also the really important part of the business is every other aspect of it. And he's really good at them already when you're not supposed to be. So he can do anything. And down the line, he's going to be X Division champion, tag team champion, world heavyweight champion, all those things, and possibly for 10 straight years, and no one may be able to stop him. But once he gets everything clicking, he is absolutely like, when I saw him that first day a year and a half ago, I said, we need to sign him and build our company around him. We have some awesome veterans and legends. We got the Hardys. We got Joe Henry doing his thing. First Class rocks. We got Mila Grace, Harley Hudson coming in, and like the women's division, tag team division, men's division, everything is rocking and rolling. That's why everybody wants to see the show. And that's why we're going above and beyond to put on that Leon Slater code and say, try TNA Plus for 1 month. If you don't like it, cool. I totally understand, but you're going to love it. It's got this entire tape library, but also every couple of weeks we have some awesome pay-per-view matches and Impact. The roster goes above and beyond, and they're so good. And it's just getting that word out and watching everybody go. When I first got here, it was a couple hundred people in the seats. And now it is thousands every single time and growing every step of the way. I am so excited for this company. I'm happy to be here and be a part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll say that I hate Leon Slater's guts. He's one of my worst enemies. He did this to my eye. That's from him. Okay, I don't like this guy. But he's an incredible, amazing wrestler, and the only place you're going to see him is on TNA. So grab that app.
Yeah, grab the app, get it downloaded, get it subscribed. I say it about 4 or 5 times a week on the review shows. But Ryan, Nick touched on it there, the roster. I remember speaking to Matt Raywald maybe 2 years ago when we first started the podcast, and he was saying then that the roster was young, hungry, and it gave him vibes of like an NXT in 2019.
Yeah.
Are we now at that stage where it is now elevated? And you've mentioned there, Nick, Harley Hudson, Nyla Gray, and all the other, some more UK talent coming through there. Is now really the best time to be in TNA wrestling?
From my point of view, it is. For me personally, it has been. I mean, let me just show. I pinned Jeff Hardy. So for me, it's been a great time to watch him be part of TNA. Well, the roster is incredible and it does feel hungry and young. And I have a background with Matt Raywall from NXT, and to start in that environment back then, and then to go kind of full circle and literally having to worry about NXT champions coming to, or wrestlers and talent coming to challenge us. We've seen Trick Williams, we know there's the possibility of crossing over. So that's just a wild full circle kind of moment to feel like you're in two places at once, NXT and TNA, time trialing, but it's wild. It's a crazy, exciting time for wrestling and for TNA.
It is. It really is. And as a TNA fan, since from way back in the day, it's so exciting for me to see it now and this massive growth spurt that it's on. It's really exciting from my point of view. But Nick, Ryan touched on the NXT stuff, and I just want to quickly go back to it because tonight on NXT, of course, Mike Santana is going to be on NXT. Very exciting to see him. I've called him the blue chipper of TNA for a while now, someone that I personally think may be the man to take the championship off of Trick Williams. How exciting is it now to see the names of the TNA roster on that WWE scale? And not just there. They're not just there to make the numbers up. They're there killing it for the TNA brand on NXT.
That's what's cool. The relationship with WWE, NXT, and TNA has been absolutely fruitful on both sides. And no matter what anyone on the internet says, if a week or two goes by and someone from TNA didn't get some win, it's like, oh, this is so stupid. Like, no, dude, it's awesome. You don't know who's going to show up on a Tuesday. You don't know who's going to show up on a Thursday. You don't know who's going to cross over and be there. You don't know who's going to become the TNA world champion, and they don't work for the company. Like, that's mind blowing to me. That's something that I can get to in a second because it pisses me off. But there's one other thing that's happening, like knowing that the fans have the best of both worlds and watching that relationship flourish. It is so great knowing that. Like, I love that you're only as good as your last match. So we're dominating. We have an awesome tag team division, and we're one by one picking them off and getting matches in and stealing the show and winning the matches. And now we have, like Ryan said, another company could show up and say, hey, we're going for these titles right now. What do you got? And we got to back it up.
You just got to be ready. You got to know that the target's on our backs.
Yeah, at all times, it's not just the roster. It's any roster could show up. AAA could show up and say, hey, we want these titles. And what are we going to do? No. Backpedal. We're going to put them on the line because we believe in our work. So, and I'm really excited for the relationship and the way it's going. And clearly, as TNA is rocking and rolling and has been picking up people every step of the way, adding this relationship in has made it so much better. When Joe Henry shows up on NXT or WWE, he doubles their numbers. And WWE is this mind-blowing billion-dollar money, awesome bringing in company. And when he comes in, it's a bigger deal. So that is awesome for him. But now let's focus on one little aspect I don't care for with Joe Henry is he lost our TNA world title. He's done a lot of great things. Grassroots, he's gotten himself to be cheered and talked about and blown the roof off, downloads, everything you can think of. But he forgot that it's pro wrestling also, and he didn't back it up in the ring. So in all seriousness, I'm really pissed off that someone who doesn't work for us is the TNA world champion. Trick Williams is awesome. Has he what looks to be a 20-year career just getting going. But he works for NXT and WWE, and I have to look at our website and go, here's our world champion. He doesn't work here. I'm pissed off about it because I know the people that, like someone like Frankie Kazarian, who's never won that world title, and now someone else has it. So no matter what you think about Frankie at the moment, I'd be real pissed off. I don't know if like we're going to confront him as a locker room, if there's going to be some meeting the next time when we go to Arizona and we have our shows. But it's cool for the fans, but I'm actively not okay with it, and I'm pissed off about it.
Definitely. So, Ryan, as we move, as Nick said, as we start to wrap up here as well, to Against All Odds next Friday from Tampa, Arizona, yes. I wonder if Jeff Hardy will be back, and maybe, just maybe, the Hardys will be looking to have their rematch for yours and Nick's tag team championships.
What we've done here, if we didn't say earlier, is I pinned Jeff Hardy.
You did.
He was back. He was there. We were all there. And the Nemeths are the tag team champions, okay? And then we have Leon Slater stepping up. They could do their little dance of choosing, flipping in and out, having rematches and whatever they want to do, but we proved it. We went to their homeland, stole the titles from their house. They came to our house in LA and we challenged them and won. We are the champs. We're the best, okay? They were the best and we beat the best, so we are the best, okay? So, sure, Jeff Hardy, come and go as you please. but we're there and we're champs and we're the best.
You are indeed. And final question to you, Nick, before we wrap up. You've had a storied career in wrestling, championships aplenty, money in the bank, everything you can imagine. What's left? Now, obviously, now you tag team with your brother, of course, tag team champion with your brother. What's left for you to accomplish in wrestling or even in TNA, for example?
A few people have asked me that, and it's like it never was about titles or accomplishment. It's like just watching every step of the way, going, one day when I can't do this anymore, it will have been a better business because I was a part of it. So I don't go like, hey, I need to win this many titles, or if I don't have that Atlantic title, I'm nothing. Like, I don't focus on that. I focus day to day going, did I just outdo everybody again for the 20th straight year when I did my match? Okay, good. Are me and Ryan rocking and rolling as a tag team and just became champions? Yes, got it. So I can't be like, I need this other title. I don't think of things that way. I just think when people see me, they want to ask my advice how to get as good as I am, or when they come back and say, yeah, that was pretty good, but can you help me with this? Can you point something out that I'm missing, that's keeping me from the top? And when it comes down to that, right now, the coolest thing is me and Ryan are working together like we've done our whole lives, but we're now doing it in a company, in a wrestling ring. So we have that constant, like, we're throwing ideas back and forth that we do, and we just have like this gel together already in life, and then you throw it in the ring. Once we get a couple of reps in, now we're rocking and rolling. So the best part for me is to go one day down the line when everyone looks back and goes, damn, that dude stole the show for 35 straight years. I hope I can be as good as him one day. And I know that I'm going to leave the business better than I left it when I take off. And that's what's most important to me.
You certainly are. And with that said, guys, we're going to start wrapping it up. So this coming Thursday on TNA Impact, Steve Macklin will defend the International Championship against Matt Cardona, a match that should have happened, of course, Under Siege. The fallout from Robert Stone and Santino Marella as well. You can watch TNA, like I said before, over here in the UK and everywhere else on the TNA Plus app. Get it downloaded, get it subscribed. And if you're in the UK and Ireland, type in Leon YIC for the 1 month free. The World Tag Team Champions have been here. We'll look forward to seeing what's next. A big thanks to Ryan, big thanks to Nick and everyone at TNA. And until next time, everybody, cross the line and stay safe.